What's up, it's Marco, Sage of Soccer, and today, well, you see, I'm away right now, so I'm using my laptop camera. Not going to be the best today. But today I'm going to talk about the US U20 team's win over Ecuador, and it was a pretty good game. We dominated a lot of the ball, but weren't really creating good chances. It was going to take something special to break open the game, and we got that. Jonathan Gomez had an amazing strike on his left foot to beat the Ecuador goalkeeper Napa, who was having a very good game, and it was just a really good shot, and it was a strong performance by the team, but weren't really creating chances in the final third until the very end. And like I said before, it's going to take something special with how the game was going, and it was nice that we were able to get it. I think overall, the team was lined up in a very weird formation for us. It was a like a 3-4-3, I guess is how I describe it. We're playing Jonathan Gomez as an inverted right back, which it's so weird for the U.S. to have too many good left backs that we have to play somebody out of position. I did like how we're getting a lot of our good players on the field, but I think the formation probably could have just changed and kept everybody on the field, and we probably would have played a bit better. We did have Justin Shea in the field as a center back. I do like him there a lot. I thought he had a good game, but you could probably move him out to right back. Put Vargas as like a really like a true six. Drop Luna into the midfield. Put Sullivan up top. Maybe you move Wiley to one of the wings, Gomez to the other fullback, and it's you keep the same players on the field, and I think it would be more cohesive. Like we weren't really making many things happen this game. Like not many dangerous chances, and if they were, it was because of like individual really good moments. Like we saw Diego Luna have a couple of really good passes, and I think that was more what was going on. It took an individual moment of brilliance. I think we should be fine for the rest of the group stage. Ecuador is going to be the toughest team in this group, but moving ahead to the knockout round, it is going to get a bit tougher. But despite that, I should say that Mikey Varas did have a tough job because a good amount of our players were missing. Rokas Puskas and Kevin Paredes are still with their clubs, and Cade Cowell was suspended for this game due to the fight at the end of the CONCACAF qualifiers that we were in. So, like, it wasn't the easiest job, but I think we probably could have gotten the best out of our players. I think that's really it for how we're playing tactically. I think we're doing very well with the ball. We're playing a strong Ecuador team. We were dominating possession. That just speaks to how far we've come as a nation. Just being able to do well against a team like Ecuador. I feel like we shouldn't understate that. Like, how far we've come is really good. And defense was looking very good. There were a couple of moments where Ecuador was making things happen, but I think it was a very solid job by the back three of Josh Wynder, Brandon Craig, and Justin Che. Good defensive performance. Our midfield was defending well as well. Obed Vargas had one really good play to stop a goal, and I think it was a solid job. A good performance by everybody. Just could have been a bit better in the final third. For individual players, I don't think there was anything really to say about like anybody who I haven't said it before. Like just going back for front, like Brandon Craig was looking really good with his passing. I think Justin Che looked very solid as a center back, which he needs to stick to that position. I think. Like I know that Hoffenheim were using him as a right back, even further forward sometimes, but he's good at center back. I think he's got the height for it. He's got the athleticism. He's very good with the ball at his feet. That's probably like his top quality. Like he's got everything you need to become a good center back. I would keep him there. He looks good in that position. Josh Wynder was solid. Maybe not as good with the ball at his feet, but he is the youngest guy on the field, or youngest defender, I should say. I'm not sure about him and Vargas. They're both 2005s. And speaking of Vargas, he was looking really good in this game. I was kind of surprised when he started over Daniel Edelman, but good performance. Like confident on the confident on the ball. Had a couple of good defensive moments. And he was only playing in the midfield too with Jack McGlynn. So you couldn't expect him to do too much, but he was looking good. McGlynn as well. He's looked very strong. I swear he's gotten faster. Like his athleticism was probably his main concern, but he just continues to look better. Making a lot of really good passes. Good one-touch play. Like I think he's looking like a really solid player. I could see him end up with the senior team, maybe with the Gold Cup. I think he could have a positive impact for us there. Then the fullbacks, probably should have talked about them before the midfielders. Gomez, he was playing as a right wing back, which I don't think is his best position, but he had that one goal. Outside of that, I think he wasn't the best going forward, but I mean, when you have a goal like that, it kind of negates the rest of it, and he was doing pretty well defensively, stopping a lot of players, so I I think you have to put that down as a good performance by Gomez. Wiley in the first half, I think he was a lot better, going down the field, making a lot of chances. The number 3 on Ecuador was doing a really good job covering him, and he has to be crazy athletic because he was outpacing Wiley. But despite that, he was still making a couple of good passes. He had one. I think he had the good pass into Yapi, which was his shot. Yapi did well off the bench as well, and I think he was being a real threat and proving that he can be a good wingback. I honestly wouldn't have been mad if he started out as a winger today, like I said earlier. Then up front, Josh Wolff, he did have the assist. I hope I'm saying the right Wolff. There's too many of them. Josh Wolff, he had the assist for the Jonathan Gomez goal. I think he grew into the game because he's not a real winger, so he plays in the midfield a lot more for Austin. So I think it took him a bit to get adjusted to that new position, but once he did, he was looking fine. Quinn Sullivan started off pretty well as well, and I probably would have had him up front. I think he looked pretty good today. Again, not too much more to say, but I do really like how he's doing well in possession. I think that's really good. He had one good moment in a build-out play. Justin Che had 2 really athletic moves to keep the ball away from Ecuador. He got it to Sullivan. He had a really nice flick that allowed us to keep the ball. That was nice to see. And as the false 9, Diego Luna was looking good. I don't think that he is a striker, and he is playing out of position, so he was only able to do so much. But when he got the ball, he was looking really good. His dribbling was on full display, looking great today. He had a chance to score. He just kind of lucked into getting the ball when pressing the goalkeeper, and just inches wide, really close on that shot. And man, he really got to show off his talent today, and he might have a really high ceiling with this group, because he's looking extremely talented. And then off the bench, we didn't have many options because I had mentioned before, those 3 players were unavailable. Michael Holiday was called in as an injury replacement for Cuevas, and he just played on Wednesday, so he wasn't going to play. But Edelman came on, did a solid job. Then there was Darren Yapi who came on, and I think we did need to have a striker in this game. I'm interested to see how we could do with Cade Cowell when he comes into the field. See how he does. Maybe we could put him up top. Maybe he'd just be a more dangerous option on wing. Get Wolff back into the midfield. But I think that he did good. He was making a lot of good runs, a couple of good moments. He had one good move to get past the defender to get a shot off, but wasn't able to come up with a goal. But I think Yapi did well, and he definitely deserves to be here. Would have been really nice if Ricardo Pepi could have been with this group, but I think we're going to have him with the senior team, and that's where he should be. And Nico Teixeira came in a little bit at the end. It was too late to make an impact, but it's good to see that he's healthy enough to play, because I think that was a concern. I did forget to mention Gaga Slonina, who I think was a little bit shaky today, especially with the ball at his feet, but I think that's to be expected. He hasn't been playing much for Chelsea, only with the U21s, so I'm expecting him to get better as the tournament goes on. And that's really all I've got to talk about for this game. I think everybody was playing to their skills. Nobody had a really bad game, and we were able to win with one good moment. Wasn't the best performance, but our whole team wasn't here, so you can't judge it too much. And a solid game, and being able to outplay Ecuador, I think that's, it should not be understated how good that was. And really good performance by us today. And yeah, that's all I got to talk about. See ya.